It's been an interesting journey for us interacting with people to realise that in fact the key cornerstone to us very strongly seems to be this attitude that yes, my body can beat this, and really concentrating on the fact that 99.999% of the body is in fact healthy. There's just this one little area of cancer, and then using the nutrition as a support rather than thinking there's any magic elixir in terms of something specifically that you can eat to beat cancer as such.
How old was Glenn when he got when he was diagnosed?
He was 50 years old.
Okay.
And in fact, we have just in the last week been for his 5-year tests, and he is all clear, completely clear. In fact, he became clear. We had the first lot of tests, the follow-up endoscopy and blood tests were all clear 11 months after he was diagnosed, and we've had those tests done annually ever since, and they've been clear every step of the way.
Have you had any follow-up from researchers here in Australia or anywhere for that matter?
No, the interesting thing is that the oncologist who's been doing the endoscopies for us has been very open-minded and very, very keen to follow Glenn through. And now that he's reached that magical 5-year mark that the medicos seem to deem as a cure, he has actually said that he's going to write to both the guy that should have been our surgeon that we did out of a job, and also the chemotherapy oncologist as well, and let them know that he has been monitoring Glenn for this 5 years, and that in fact he's been through. But unfortunately, we found a little bit of an anti-climate, if you like, from the surgical team and oncology team that we had once we decided not to follow their advice. And it was only through my local GP, who was willing to give us referrals, that we were able to get the follow-up treatment. So, no, there's been no direct interest from anybody there.
To conclude, do you have any further comments to make on the whole situation?
My only comment basically would be that I think anybody confronted with cancer, really is best served to look at a combination of both alternative and conventional treatment. In some situations, there's absolutely, I would have no argument about the normal sort of interventions. I must admit I have huge reservations about chemotherapy and radium, because it makes no sense to me whatsoever that you're helping the body by poisoning it and burning it. I believe very, very strongly that the body has the ability to heal itself, but I think, number one, it certainly does need the right mindset. In other words, basic confidence that yes, the body can heal itself, and that backed up by very good and very, probably fairly specific nutrition in terms of making sure that there's that broad range of enzymes and vitamins available to allow the body to do its job.
Now, the people who you refer to who are using the mind a lot to overcome cancers, those people, how many people are you talking about roughly? Well,
I would say over the last 5 years that we've had some fairly solid interactions with about 25 or 30. One of the things that I very much believed on is that when people are going through cancer, one of the worst things you can do is get into the mindset that I'm a cancer patient, and as such I'm very against things like cancer support groups, etc. And in fact, with people who come to us newly diagnosed, one of the things that I suggest very strongly is that either they don't tell more people than they have to, or if they have to tell family, then they get through to family that, they don't want to be sitting around chewing the cud about how dreadful it is and how bad it is and how sad it is that they've got cancer, but basically they just need to, get on with their lives and, really concentrate on being well rather than on beating the cancer. And it sounds like a fine line, but there's a huge difference between considering that you're fighting cancer and simply concentrating on being well. And as a result of that, I have deliberately not imposed on people who have contacted us to, continually be on their back about how are they going and what's working for them, etc. I've very much simply responded to their request for interaction. But overall, there would be about 25 or 30 people that I could confidently say we've had the feedback from that they've got through much better for mindset, or alternatively, in several cases where family members have contacted and said, look, we've lost Dad, or I've lost my husband, or whatever, but the bottom line was he could never get his head around a feeling that he was going to beat it. He or she was always of the mindset that basically, they weren't going to get through it.
Thanks very, very much.
You're more than welcome,
Great.
John.
For the researcher, contradictory information lies within the medical literature regarding the efficacy of amygdalin and its synthetic derivative, laetrile. I would like to cite 2 or 3 favourable published articles pertaining to amygdalin and cancer cells, originating from Kyunghee University in Seoul, South Korea. This information does not constitute medical advice. The first article is entitled "Amygdalin induces apoptosis through regulation of BAX and BCL2 expressions in human D145 and LNCAP prostate cancer cells." This article was published in the Biological and Pharmaceutical Bulletin, Volume 29, Issue 8, 2006, pages 1597 to 1602. It's available on the web in PDF at JStage, so it can be searched on the internet in full form. Reading from the abstract: apoptosis, programmed cell death, is an important mechanism in cancer treatment. From the last paragraph of the full article we can read, "In the present study we demonstrated that amygdalin induces apoptotic cell death by caspase-3 activation through the downregulation of apoptotic BCL2 protein and the upregulation of pro-apoptotic BAX protein in DU145 and LNCAP prostate cancer cells. Based on these results, amygdalin shows considerable promise in the treatment of prostate cancers." The second article is entitled "Amygdalin inhibits genes related to cell cycle in SNU-C4 human colon cancer cells." This article was published in the World Journal of Gastroenterology in 2005, Volume 11, Issue 33, pages 5156 to 5161. In the introduction, one can read, "Due to cyanide toxicity, there has been controversy for amygdalin as a cancer drug." In the conclusion of the PDF, the long form of this article, which is available on the internet publicly, you can find it at wjgnet.com. Now, at the conclusion of that article, we can read, "Our results indicate that amygdalin-induced DNA damage involved in cell cycle on SNU-C4 human colon cancer cells, and amygdalin might be used for therapeutic anti-cancer drug." This information once again does not constitute medical advice.